see you next year.
Thanks for letting me. I got like this and bomb. I get it. Yeah.
You want to use this? Do we need any further ado? Is that it? Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you all to Sonic Revolution 2019. Make some noise! When security gets rowdy, you know you have a problem.
So Bill, I think we're referring to you.
Is that it? There's no plan here?
Good.
Oh, okay, good. We have fun.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're the Sonic Boom writing team. We're gonna do a little Q&A for you guys. So.
I thought this was going to be the comedy chip show.
All right, thank you so much. All right, how's everyone doing today? Okay, Sonic Boom, it's been 2 years since I guess the show's ended, but you can still find it, of course, on DVD and Hulu. What have you guys been up to since the show ended?
I've been staying home a lot, drinking and cleaning my handguns. Is that a bad thing?
It's called a Lisbon.
You want to start with this?
Yeah, sure. I'm writing and directing 2 features coming up. And I just worked for Netflix on a show called Legend Quest during the 2nd season. And I worked for Hasbro on the Littlest Pet Shop show recently. And I'm doing an animated pilot that I'm opening source recently.
Nice. Okay, what lessons or experiences from doing the show would you say that you incorporate into your future projects? Like, what have you learned from doing this particular cartoon?
One thing I learned from my father was that as a writer on a show, your job isn't to make the show good. Your job is to make the showrunner's life easy. That was a pretty good lesson because I thought for sure my job was to make the show good. I guess we tried to make the show good too. You weren't just bringing Bill deli platters or something.
Yeah, why weren't you bringing me deli platters?
I think from working on the show, we kind of took away how every joke can be topped. And so kind of the way that the Sonic jokes go, there tends to be a joke, a punchline, and then a lot of times a second punchline or a third punchline, and kind of tagging and kind of that competitive style of writing where you're trying to one-up the previous joke over and over again. That's something that we've done a ton of times.
Alrighty, this one is for Bill and Sam. What's more fun to write, comic books or television?
For me, it was television because I was in charge. In comic books, I was the lone man on the totem pole. But it was a dream. It was actually a dream to write comic books. Yeah, since I was a kid and I was collecting comic books. So the opportunity to do the Sonic comic book was great, and then doing the one DC comic book that I did afterward was just a thrill to write, for Batgirl and
Yeah, the fun thing about writing the comic book was you get to kind of be more the director. You get to really describe. Hello. You get to describe what you want everything to look like, and watching it come to life was something I saw when we were doing. But it was very with the comic book. So I enjoy writing the comic book, but honestly, my sensibility probably I like writing the TV show best.
Was there any ideas or jokes that you wanted to use but you couldn't get past the censors?
Yes, I've had 2. One was I wanted to do an episode called Eggman Dies. Basically, the idea of the episode was Eggman's robots have been taking a little bit too much initiative, and he thinks that there's going to be a coup.
So what he does is he feigns grave illness and eventually his death, like Castro, so that he can spy on his underlings. And he climbs into the ventilation shaft to watch what's going on, and in doing so gets stuck up there and proceeds to starve to death. The French network would not let us do that. Then the other one was basically the story was going to be the mayor is ousted. He's either impeached or he's out. He's thrown out of office, and Eggman's like, now's my chance. And he basically was going to run for mayor on the promise of building a wall around Goldberg Village and making him pay for it. And then we thought it over and we're like, this was like 2015, 2016, and we're like, nah, that's not going to be relevant because he's never going to be president. Next thing we know, whoops. Now we wish we did.
We had an episode that it wasn't the censors that stopped. I think Bill in his wisdom decided maybe this wasn't necessarily the right venue for it. But we had this idea for an episode called The Adventures of Eggy McGee. Eggman creates a children's book where he's playing with the protagonist and Sonic is the villain. And then the book becomes so popular that he kind of brainwashes the children and starts using the children of the village to kind of like a sweat shop. So that one didn't go for maybe obvious reasons. Yeah.
Right, this is one I just did for fun for the fans. Not counting the main cast, because I don't want to be spotting any stuff right here. If you could ship any of the two villagers, who would it be and why?
We're shipping the characters together. Billy, you want to start out?
I need a second to think about this. I want to give a good answer.
Well, you shipped some characters in an episode that didn't get made.
There was a full episode that we wrote that ultimately got scrapped. Where two characters were to be wed.
Yes, it was a relationship between Eggman and Lady Walrus.
So that's, just so you guys know, that script exists. But you're never going to see it.
Actually, what happened with that script, we basically ended up taking the final episode, which was the video game episode, and we turned it into a two-parter. And in making it a two-parter, we had to give up an episode. The episode that went away was the Lady Walrus and Eggman, which was written by the director Annalise. And it was Eggman marries her for her money. I love Eggman. He's my baby. So who else would we ship? We did kind of Sticks and Dave the Intern.
They had some moments together.
Well, when they were in the airplane and
I'd like to ship Bill the Goldfish in a shallow grave.
I love Bill and Goldfish and I wish they would let us do it.
All right, was there any episode that kind of gave you writer's block that was like difficult to write?
We worked a ton on the first Shadow episode, where we kept delaying that writing because it took forever to try to figure out a plot that had Shadow in it and Sonic. Shadow's awesome. Shadow doesn't lose, and Sonic doesn't lose. So a story where both of them kind of win but are at opposite goals. That one took forever, right?
Yeah, that one was a tough one because there were so many extra rules that you said, because when you use Shadow, he's a very popular character, but in addition, he was created by, Izuka-san, Takashi Izuka, and he was very protective of that character and that character's attributes. So we really had to make an episode essentially where no one wins because neither of the characters lose.
Yeah, working with Shadow is tricky because, his backstory is he was created in a lab, right, by Dr. Eggman's great grandfather. You guys are better than that. Okay, I'm in the right direction. And, his only love is Maria, and she doesn't exist on the show. In fact, there's a general rule that we shouldn't have any humans on the show. Eggman being the exclusion of that rule. So anytime we had, when we brought Shadow in, it was a little tricky to go, can we mention his backstory? Not really. So that was kind of a game that we had to play around. That's why Shadow was kind of one of the hardest. But ultimately, one of the funnest.
All right, what was the biggest hurdle in writing for a license-based property?
I mean, I think that's kind of goes into the question we were just talking about. Where there are certain rules for certain characters, especially with Shadow and Sonic, where there are these expectations, and they're these legacy characters that have been going on for so long. You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to change the way the character acts, come off to the side. We went all the way on that one. But generally speaking, that was kind of the thing. We wanted to make sure we weren't undermining things that existed already. We weren't.
Yeah, and also there were certain rules in any licensed property. For example, we really could, even though we had our own world, we couldn't create relatives to the characters. We couldn't introduce Sonic's parents into them. So that was, because we would be, in a way, changing the canon. So we had to be careful, and we wanted to do for the longest time something with Eggman's brother. And we couldn't do it because you can't introduce that character. And then one of the French writers came up with bringing Eggman in from an alternate dimension and playing him as if he was the brother, which we did. It turned into Eggman's brother with the long hair and the beach guy voice. It became Steve Eggman, and it ended up being a shape-shifting robot from another dimension, but it essentially allowed us to do the stories we wanted to do with Eggman's brother in a form that was acceptable. I mean, a lot of times you'll hear TV writers talk about someone, the network, the studio, they made a rule, they gave us a note, and we ended up coming up with something better than we had in the first place by trying to figure out how to do what we wanted while still honoring the note. And I think that's true of Eggman's brother and Mombot, which I thought was another really successful episode. And we ended up doing Eggman's Family Vacation, where Mombot has a timeshare in the Cloud City in the sky, and we did it as if it was a family. Orbiting Cuba with the kids in sailor suits, and it was just a question of finding a way to follow the rules but still do something fun and interesting.
All right, my final question before I give it out to the audience. What is your favorite Sonic Boom moment?
I'm partial to just for the action, the mech suit fight between Eggman and Sonic.
This is a weird one for me to admit to everyone, because I really like the smart jokes and the smart episodes. My favorite episode is Nutwork, and yet, whenever I watch it, the thing that makes me laugh the most is in the episode where Eggman goes back to school and he goes to steal the test from his teacher, and Orbot and Cubot, we do the thing from Mission Impossible, and they drop him, and then they lift him, and he bangs his head, and they drop him again, and he just keeps hurting himself, and he just keeps doing it over and over, and it's just purely slapstick nonsense. But it makes me laugh harder than anything we did on the show.
I remember a moment, it was probably the Vector episode. There's like there's a specific joke that I'm very proud of, really. It was when they're doing the stakeout, and Sonic, it kind of transitions in, and Sonic goes, "Oh, it's so boring, stakeout's more like this on TV." There's usually just 2 lines of dialogue, and then you see the guy. And, oh, well, that's not like TV. Oh, there he is.
I see that a lot of meme on Twitter.
That was a good one. My favorite moment, I think, is in Planes, Trains, and Dudemobiles, when we have the guys in the band they do their little rap song. That was a lot of fun to write, and it became really great. So that was a lot of fun.
All right, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the audience. Who wants to?
Yes, I was going to come by up ahead. Yes, this is your question. Thank you so much.
What was your favorite song from episode tonight?
For me, Victory. I love Captain EO. If you're familiar with the Disneyland attraction Captain EO, it's all a riff on that and a movie called Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. If you ever seen that, that was my favorite one. She's just so ridiculous.
I like in the four-part Robots from the Sky, part 2, because we initially wrote that as a 3-part episode, and then we kind of, very late to process, so we had parts 1, 3, and 4 figured out. Part 2, we just kind of pulled out. And so that was my favorite to write because it felt really dynamic. We were just sort of figuring it out and writing it in a week.
Yeah, the thing about that was we had a 3-part episode. We had gotten the 3-part episode approved, and then we were moving along, and someone pointed out a 4-part episode is almost like a TV movie, and we can release it on DVD as one long episode. 3 parts would be too short. It would really be better for a DVD sale if we did 4 parts. And it was like, we're all done, it's too late. And yet we figured out how to add that second episode and make it a coherent story still. So that was a lot of fun.
I want to say my favorite episode. I have a couple. I like the season 1 finale where we introduced Shadow for the first time. I thought that was one of our best episodes that we were doing and stuff. And then, like I said, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We really wanted to do like a road trip episode with just the guys. And we were
And they live on an island, so a road trip was kind of difficult.
to the other side of the island. that was my favorite.
I thought your favorite episode was Just a Guy.
Oh, well, just the guy as well. I had a lot of favorite episodes.
My favorite episode, I was involved in the writing of all of them, but I only personally have 1/3 credit on the 4-parter. So I'll just go with my favorite episode is Network. The one that's a parody of the media.
I got 2 questions, a joke one and a serious one. So we're serious. Seeing that the show is over and you may not see the characters, I can't help but be curious. How, say if you bring like Blaze or Silver, how would you recommend the show?
It's like Abbott and Costello, probably.
I mean, Silver, I don't know too much about Silver. Generally, the earlier games, kind of, the games that we grew up on, you know, the first 3 games, and Sonic and Knuckles were like, that was the stuff that we really grew up on. So I don't know too much about Silver. I do know that Sega seems to have a tendency every few years to try to create a new character that's cooler than the last. So like Sonic's the ultimate cool character, and then like 4 years later, like Knuckles is cooler, and then like 2 years later, they invent Shadow, and he's even cooler than that. And then I think, am I right in assuming that's kind of what Silver is as well? Where they like puppet and like, oh no, Silver's the coolest one. So we would make him like too cool for school.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that would have been our instinct.
Silver would be a real tough one because of the time travel element, which we were not allowed to do in Sonic 1. So one of the things that prevented us from doing Silver was because there was a time travel element. And I think the rule when we first started at the very beginning of development was no time travel. So Silver would be a real tough one.
Question, Tommy Champ, Ray Wallace.
Excuse me?
Tommy Champ, Ray Wallace.
Yes?
Can you sing the Macarena?
I don't know if I can sing a song right now. Oh, please sing! I don't know. I need to get paid extra for that. I'm in the union. Fine.
So what was your guys' relationship with the team that worked on the Rise of Lyric game? And was there any possibility of utilizing the aspects of those games in the show, like characters lyrics or anything, or are those strictly like that?
Rise of Lyrics, the game was like well into production before we got involved. They kind of brought us in at, like the 11th hour to punch it up and make sure that I think tonally the comedy was on par with what we were doing with the show. We didn't have too much involvement until like the last second, and then we did like a big pass on the script. So we worked on the script for a little bit, but there were a lot of other people involved in that before we got involved.
Does anybody else have a question?
So Vector has a cameo in the second season, and then he has entire episodes. But he kind of just came out of nowhere. What's the story on Vector just appearing in Sonic Boom?
Well, the fans obviously wanted to have other characters from the show, from the games rather. There were rules about how we could use them. There were, anytime we took any character from the game, there was a lot more pressure, to do certain things and to not do certain things. So we couldn't bring in a character and use them for an episode. So any character that came in, I don't know if it was a cameo, I think once we had the asset of Vector,
It was Morpho. It was morphed into Vector.
right. And once we had the asset where it had already been created, we then used it for the joke. I think we actually had another joke that we didn't use. In the bowling episode, we wanted to have a team with all the game characters in one shot bowling against our guys. Against the Lightning Bowling Society.
It was going to be Vector, Shadow, Metal, and Defect.
Yes, we're going to be a bowling team. And the feeling was Shadow was too cool and we couldn't make fun of him by putting him on bowling. So we ended up losing that. But when we had the asset and that thing where Eggman's brother turns into all different things and turns into Vector, that's because that was written after the Vector episode was conceived and approved. So we used the asset to get a joke out of it. But the thing is, all those episodes with characters from the game had to be one-offs. They couldn't exist and hang out in our universe for any length of time. It was a corporate network thing, and we just had no control over it.
Okay, who's got a question?
Did you plan to use any other characters in the movie
From the games or just on the show?
We plan to use other characters from the games.
No, I really just wanted to use Scratch and Grounder.
Yeah, we really wanted to use Scratch and Grounder, but there were rights issues because they came from another show. I don't remember what exactly we wanted to do with them. We really wanted Scratch and Grounder. Other than that, anytime they said we could use a character from the game, we would use it. We couldn't do all of the chaotic because we couldn't bring in the three characters.
Yeah, and if they wanted to bring in Charming anyway, I think we would have said no. He's annoying.
Okay, who else has a question?
Hi. Is there any episode that you wish you could go back and change?
Buster.
Still explain it to good question.
Buster is my least favorite episode. When I came on board with the show, I rewrote every episode. I was the showrunner from episode 1. However, before that, there were several episodes as part of development that I inherited that I was not involved with breaking the story. And the idea of Buster being a cute pet that sticks with love just did not work for me. I thought he had to have some quality that would make him a character that sticks with a dog. So I wanted this really disgusting character that was constantly throwing up and shedding and just being this really horrible character, but they'd already done the robot dog design. So we were locked into it. So if I had to change something, I would have made Buster more like the Blob or Flubber, just like an oozing, pussy thing that had a robot inside it.
Yeah, there's also a set that felt a little out of character, at least for our show, that Styx would like a robot. If you know Styx, she doesn't trust robots at all, so I think that design kind of undermined it. That's why Bill pushed back so much on that one.
Yeah, I pushed back very hard to change the Buster design, but it was already in motion. Okay?
How do you make this show so hilarious a lot of the time?
Drinking? We get really drunk, and then we just start writing jokes.
I think Sonic Boom is written a little differently than most kids shows. Most kids shows have just one showrunner who kind of works by themselves, and then they freelance out all the scripts. And this one, Bill like running it more like a group writers group. And I think that just comedy works a lot better when there's multiple people in a room passing around jokes and trying to make each other laugh. It works a lot better than a writer sitting alone in his office who then emails the script to another writer sitting alone in another office. And I think that environment that Bill created is a big part of why so many jokes in the show work.
Speaking of jokes, like one of my favorite things that you guys did with the show is all the meta humor, like calling out the random and all that. And I was just wondering, like how much research, I guess, goes into those jokes. So I was saying, like there's that whole like super fan episode where Sonic is kidnapped, and then when Shadow appeared, it's like he's the second most popular character.
Well, we have Twitter, and people. We couldn't avoid the research. It was flooding to us into our timelines. You'll notice a lot of those jokes, a lot of those meta jokes about the Sonic fandom happened in the second season after we had substantial time to interact with a lot of people on Twitter who had a lot of things to say about the first season.
We saw all your deviant art.
In the show, you had Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails be in a boy band called Dreamboat Express. Were there any other names that you had considered for that band?
Yeah, there were a few. I think we were telling someone about it earlier today. So we were trying to come up with the lamest boy band name possible. That was the idea. So we had one, I think, that was the Paisley Boys, or Lavender Boys, and it was also Dimpletown. That was another one. But then when it came to them turning over and becoming Duditude, it was Duditude immediately. I think we knew that.
There's also, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a real band in England that's called Dreamboat Express. And they sent me their album, and it exists. It's like, guys, the joke was the worst name they could think of.
Did they take it from our episodes?
Yes.
Because I wrote an episode of a show many years ago called Get a Life with the main character, Chris Elliott, is a paperboy, and he's replaced by a machine called Paperboy 2000. And it's this giant tank from Damnation Alley. And they became a band called Paperboy 2000, and they sent me their album many years ago. So I guess if you can think of good names, you can get swag. It was dreamy.
If you were to use some characters rather than Shadow or Vector, which one would you choose?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
If you were to use like other characters rather than Shadow or Vector, who would you use?
Is there any character from the games?
I think the cat is one of them. We talk about a lot.
Then I think I would have liked to use Rouge.
Bill said scratch and grounder before. I also like coconuts.
Actually, Scratch and Brown. He loves Scratch and Brown.
Me too.
That one clip with Amy when they're playing soccer and she's like saying, can they play exactly like a male? And then Knuckles comes in, saying this whole this joke. How did you guys like get that in the show or something?
That was when we write scripts. A lot of times when you're writing a script, you kind of have temporary dialogue up on the page that you're like, it's going to be something like this. And so we had a line in there that was Amy going like, oh, can the girl do it? And just all of us were like, ugh. This is lame. And then we just started talking amongst ourselves about why that type of line is kind of lame, is fake feminism and everything. And just somehow, then we start talking, and then Bill just goes like, right what you just said. And so, and then it was in the script.
Considering Sega has a lot of mandates for a lot of things, what's something you were surprised they allowed?
Drinking in the office? Am I sensing a theme here?
I would say the live action shot.
Well, the live action shot, I wouldn't say they allowed it. It was a big fight to get it. That we were doing the rewrite one night, and I actually pitched this and to the other executive producer. I said, here's something that I don't think we can do in a million years. And he said, let's try and do it. And then it came down to the wire. I mean, we needed the live action shot, and it was almost the episode was almost done. And we finally had it everything together. Sam directed it. Another friend of ours was the cameraman.
We shot it in your
shot it in my driveway in my house. We did 3 versions. We did the taking out the trash version. I think we did Sonic eating a chili dog in my dining room.
I have a picture of that on my phone.
So that was kind of tough. And then I almost brought the outfit. I still have the outfit that the guy wore. I didn't bring it. I put it on display like it was a museum.
When that guy showed up, he got notice at 9 o'clock at night that he was going to be Sonic Man for us. He worked all night.
He made the costume.
Making that horrible costume. He spent all night on it.
And we recorded the episode, the audio for the episode, because the episode was almost done, so we recorded it a while back. And I asked Roger Craig Smith to record that line just in case. And so it was already recorded, and then the actor did that line, and we were unsure if we liked the reading. And we said, let's just try putting Roger in. We just went to my computer, my laptop, and we laid it in on the shot. We downloaded it from the camera, we laid it in, and it just fit perfectly. And we said, oh, well, we're done now. We don't need to do it.
If you're not able to answer this question, then that's perfectly fine. But shows featured on Cartoon Network, which also has Adult Swim. If you could make an episode for Sonic Boom with the level that you can put in Adult Swim, what would you do it about?
We finally have our Son Amy episode. We did a lot of meta humor on the show. We made fun of certain things, but quite honest, and we did push the envelope. We did. I mean, another favorite joke of mine is when Eggman shows up in Fuzzy Puppy Buddies and says, "I'm sorry I'm late. I was busy polishing my schnauzer." There are a couple of things that some people think are a little on the dirty side, but in actuality, I couldn't imagine this show on Adult Swim because it is a certain kind of thing. And I think on Adult Swim, making it dirtier, making it edgier, I think would have made it a parody of what we were doing instead of what we were actually doing. Anyone care to disagree up here?
Excuse me. If you were to make a different finale for the show, would you try to work Super Sonic into the story, or should that like stay non-canon of the Boom universe?
No, I think for myself, I'm happy with that episode. I really enjoyed doing the video game thing. It's really, to me, a funny, it's kind of meta, a video game show that's ultimately about video game characters, but also I really like the way that episode came out.
You know, we never really considered supersonic as they never asked for it. So it's not like we were coming up with all these supersonic stories from rats. You know, it just wasn't even around.
But you did argue that there's that one fantasy sequence in Knuckles' head, which is Super Knuckles, I think, right? When he blasts off in the air and flies away. So that was really close we got to see that.
Who was your favorite person on the cast, like the voice cast, to work with and why?
We had a blast just going to those recordings and seeing everybody just totally
wrong answer.
Super talented cast, but obviously didn't get there yet, Bill. But, you know, we had a cast of really talented professional voice actors, but I guess I'd say Bill.
There you go.
Anybody else have any questions?
They were all great. They were all really good.
Okay, I think we're going to wrap this up, and this will be our last question. Okay, then that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you guys, everybody, for supporting the show.
Thank you. If you want to ask us any more questions or anything, we'll be at the table. Just say hey.
Still some Sonic Boom DVDs available. Answer that.